Good evening, folks. I trust you've had a happy, joyous day in Jesus Christ. You know, sometimes even bad things happen to good people, but I have come to find out, even in those times, that the joy of the Lord is still my strength. You know, the first two evenings we talked about David in his meeting up with Goliath when David was gone to do something for God. In 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 40 it said, "And he took his staff," which we talked about yesterday evening, "and chose him 5 smooth stones out of the brook, and put them in a shepherd's bag which he had, even a scrip, and his sling was in his hand, and he drew near to the Philistine." In days gone by, my wife made me my own shepherd's pouch, and in that pouch I carry my smooth stones. I find it interesting that before David went to meet Goliath, he did not just pick up 5 stones. But the Bible was very plain when it said 5 smooth stones. Well, first of all, it's important that they were smooth stones because they would fly so much better when he shot them out of his sling and let them go. Nothing out there to catch the wind, and they were truer. But it's also very clear that the 5 smooth stones were made smooth by the friction of the water from who knows how long, that water in that brook rippling down over them. The friction of the water on those stones took the rough edges off and made them smooth. Can I just tell you, we don't like it, but we all have friction in our life at one time or another. And that friction does a benefit to us. It helps knock off all the rough, sharp edges. So I carry my smooth stones in my pouch that my wife made me, and I got to thinking about this, the 5 smooth stones. Well, what were they? What could they represent in our life? Well, I think one of the smooth stones could have been believing. David knew in whom he believed, and he was persuaded that his God was able to take care of him. Why? Because he said, the same God that delivered me out of the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear, the same God will deliver me out of the hand of this uncircumcised Philistine. He believed that God was able. Another smooth stone that he might have picked up out of that brook could represent success. Not only in his life, we need a smooth stone of success in ours. The more we succeed, the bolder and stronger our faith becomes. The more you get beat up and the more you live a defeated attitude, the less strong you are in God. Now, I'm just giving you a once quick view of my smooth stones. Another smooth stones that he might have picked up could have been a stone representing power. How could that be? Well, the power was not in him. The power was in God. Our power is not in us. Our power is in God, even through the dispensing of the Holy Ghost in our lives. What did the Bible say? The Bible said, and you shall receive power. After that, the Holy Ghost has come upon you, and you shall be witnesses unto me. I think maybe another smooth stone that David had picked up in that stream was a smooth stone of hope. I can tell you that if I had hope only in this life, I would be of all men most miserable. But my hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and righteousness. David had hope. Can I tell you, we all face moments, times, situations in our life. First of all, they are used like that friction in the stream to make us better. But that friction determines our outcome. We all face friction in our life. If you're a minister in your ministry, how do people react to friction? Well, in the church, when friction comes, some people leave the church. As a matter of fact, when friction comes, sometimes ministers will leave the church. Sometimes financial pressure becomes great friction in our lives, and on and on. And when it happens, if we're not careful, we get to the place that we declare gloom, despair, agony on me. But that's not where it's at. David picked up his smooth stones and headed out to meet the giant. When he had his smooth stones and went out, I think one of the stones that he took with him was a stone of peace. We do not find David going to meet the giant filled with despair. He had the peace of his God. And can I tell you, the peace of God passeth all understanding. So he picked up his 5 smooth stones, headed out to meet the giant, and with his arsenal in his bag, one of the things that it brought him was joy. Can I tell you tonight that joy cometh in the morning? In the trial, don't give up, because joy is on its way. When the enemy fights against you, stand up with a resounding assurance that if God be for me, who can be against me? And when it's all said and done, when we get the other side of that trial, we can look back and declare, my, how good God has been to bring me through that trial. I pray for you tonight. God, touch and minister to my brothers and my sisters in the face of their adversity. Oh God, lift them up, strengthen them, give them the ammunition that they need to come through victorious. God, when we are tried in the fire, we will come forth as purest shining gold. God bless my brothers and my sisters tonight as we walk this road together. In Jesus' holy name, amen and amen. Listen, if you can, join me tomorrow night. And until then, God bless you. Go with God. God will go with you.
Myself this question.